Hello, dear students. Today I will take the permanent tissue. The permanent tissue, uh, these tissues are produced by meristematic tissue, produced by meristematic tissue, meristematic tissues. The cells, the cells of meristem divide and produce cells which later on which later uh, which later on differentiate into different tissues 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 and attain particular function particular function. It means that when the meristematic tissues, for example the tissues of the apical meristem, this cell when it divides, it produces lot of cells like these towards the lower side, and these newly originated cells from the apical meristem, they get differentiated. That means different types of functions are provided to these cells, and then after that they are made specialized to form special tissues, different types of tissues. And these cells, the permanent tissue, they lost the capacity to divide, but we can make them to divide again and again. That is the capacity of totipotency. Now the permanent tissue permanent tissue can be of two types. Number one is simple permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and number second is complex permanent tissue. First we will take the simple permanent tissue, then we will take the complex permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue is tissue which is having this or made of one cell. The simple permanent tissue simple permanent tissue simple permanent tissue are the tissue which is made of one type of cells or single type of cell. That means only single type of cells are present in that is only single type of cells are present in a particular tissue Examples: the simple permanent tissue is of three types. Number one is parenchyma, collenchyma, and number third is sclerenchyma. Simple permanent tissue is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And we have to discuss these three types of tissues and their characters. Parenchyma, it is a simple tissue. That means the tissue, parenchymatous tissue, is a simple tissue which is formed of only a single type of cells. And what are the characteristics of the cells of parenchymatous tissue? Number one is the cells are living. It is the first characteristic feature of the parenchymatous tissue. Number second is cells are living. They have thin cell wall, These are the characters of parenchyma or parenchyma cells. Thin cell wall, they are loosely arranged and have intercellular space. That means these cells, they are like this. They have the space between them, the cells, like these, the space, intercellular space. The shape of the cells can vary. The shape of cells can vary. They are oval, they are pillar like. Different types of cells are present in different types of tissues. Another important characteristic of the parenchymatous tissue on the basis of the functions, the parenchyma can be of one or two types. These parenchyma cells, they perform photosynthesis. When the parenchyma cells, or when they contain chloroplasts. That means if the parenchyma cells contain chloroplast present in them, they help in the photosynthesis to prepare food for the plant, and that parenchymatous cells which are responsible for photosynthesis, that parenchymatous tissue is known as chlorenchyma. Actually, what is chlorenchyma? Chlorenchyma, it is the parenchymatous tissue in which the chloroplasts are present and perform photosynthesis for the plant. These are present in leaves, soft parts of the plants, leaves. Chlorenchyma. And another some parenchymatous cells store food in roots and stems of plants. Next is some parenchymatous cells help in the buoyancy of some aquatic plants, like the leaves of lotus. The leaf of the lotus does not sink into the water because they have the parenchymatous cells, the loose parenchymatous cells, they have a lot of intercellular space and they store air. And due to the presence of this air, the leaves float on the surface of water. Those parenchymatous cells which have air present in them, it is known as aerenchyma. What is aerenchyma? Aerenchyma, it is a parenchymatous tissue which which stores air for the buoyancy of the plant. In case of aquatic plants, the plants which are present in the water, they help the plant to float on the surface of water. They do not sink due to the presence of this air. These parenchymatous cells are known as aerenchyma or aerenchymatous tissue. I will repeat this. Parenchyma, these are parenchymatous tissue. What is parenchymatous tissue? Parenchymatous tissue is a simple tissue because only single type of cells are present in them. Cells are living. They have thin cell wall. They are loosely arranged and have intercellular space. Next is the shape of the cells can vary. They may be oval, they may be pillar-like, etc. Parenchymatous cells perform photosynthesis, but when they contain chloroplasts. If they contain chloroplasts, they perform photosynthesis, and that type of tissue is known as chlorenchyma. Some parenchymatous cells are present in the roots, like radish, roots of the radish, or you can say they store food, or potato, they can store food. Some parenchymatous cells help in the buoyancy of some aquatic plants, like these type of tissue is known as aerenchyma, that means we store air. Thank you. Have a nice day.